All right.
I'm
It's
ready.
official. And of course, then Kate shows her, now as this meeting is being recorded, Kate pops on with her camera. Very nice. No background today, Kate?
Oh, I was trying. It was interfering with me showing Matt something yesterday. I think like I couldn't hold.
Oh, yeah. My son loves that you can put like a piece of paper in front of yourself and you can like become invisible.
This is the first time that I'm meeting Molly.
Oh, that's
Is
good.
that you, Molly?
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Well, welcome, Molly.
Hi, all.
So much better.
Hey, Caroline.
Hi, Caroline.
All right.
Hi.
I was about to say, I think Quentin's head down coding, but there he is. I love how he's in a different spot.
Every
Every
time.
time.
Have to show my son this time. I moved 2 feet.
It's like a whole different world.
I like the outside venue the best.
Yeah.
That is the best.
But I was seeing comments on Twitch like, what is that noise? Is that a squirrel?
Have you seen the video of the birds in the nest? I know you're on Twitter, Maeve. Yeah, Quentin shared a video of the birds on the nest outside.
Okay,
everyone should look at it. Also, his bacon. I'm jealous of the bacon. All right, I'm going to be quiet now.
It's video.
Maeve,
okay.
Matt.
Yeah.
Maeve, go for it.
So we're busy onboarding volunteers at the moment and trying to assign new tasks and everything like this, getting to know everyone. So I see Molly's on this call here. You're on the development side, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay, maybe do you want to quickly introduce yourself for everybody here?
Hi. Yeah, sure. Hi, my name is Molly. I just started onboarding today. I got introduced to this project through Michelle. So yeah, I'm located on the East Coast in New York and like in New York City. Yeah, I'm a full stack developer. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's really good to have you on board. Oh, there's Michelle.
Connecting. Yeah, there she goes.
Now I have a perfect Brady Bunch thing going on here.
How we usually run these meetings, obviously everyone else knows, is that we just kind of first discuss if anyone has any bottlenecks. And I know Quentin has announced one that I'm going to help him and Kate Barry with. That's the labeling of a 209A form. Does anybody else have any bottlenecks that they've come across? Anything that they're struggling with?
I think the one thing that we're trying to do is we're trying to transition people like Quentin and maybe Michelle into actually from working on the wizard to working on actual forms, and hopefully, and Molly too. So we're setting up shadowing sessions with me and with Kate to start with. And Caroline, if you have time, it might be helpful to have you on board as the subject matter expert for one of these so we can have multiple teams in parallel going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I see something it's at 6 p.m. your time that you're going to do a call?
Yeah. So there's this guy named Tom who is a former practicing lawyer in Massachusetts, knows Python, works on the technology side in e-discovery now. Sorry,
right.
You might hear, sorry if midnight is disturbing you. She's decided to play with that very loudly.
I am loving meeting everyone's cats. This is the best part.
Midnight's not even my cat, but I consider her my own. I love her dearly. But yeah, Tom works in e-discovery now and is interested in learning DocAssemble. And so I think his like law and technology intersection will, cross our fingers, mean that he's able to pick this up kind of quickly because he'll be able to intuit a lot of this stuff.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay, well, I'll jump on that call as well. It's at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Where is this? Are we using the same? Are we using this Zoom link? Where do I find that meeting? And is it in Slack?
Yeah, it hasn't been yet. We had organized it.
Okay.
Like Kate is on board. She can be, unless you can do it too, Caroline. As the subject matter expert.
Yeah.
But if you want to be involved, that's great. We'll do it.
Yeah, I definitely would like to be involved.
Great.
Okay, so then should we include Kate and Caroline in that link for that DM where we're just scheduling it and everything like that?
And
just I
just don't. The other thing too is that I don't want to overwhelm Tom, who's like a new person. So we'll talk about how many people need to be on it, and we can do that after.
I was going to be on it more in a shadowing role just to
Yeah,
learn.
exactly.
Okay, just so you get it. I'm not going to expert this.
Nope.
Okay.
One quick suggestion is that we might want to take some of our DM threads and put them in threads on the main channel so they're visible to people so they can pop in. So that's just something we might want to think about.
Okay.
So,
That's a good
as you're
idea.
starting things off, start it as a thread.
This one is a thread, but yes.
Perfect.
Generally speaking, like what we've done so far is Matt and I have started out a DM with new volunteers, and then using that as a platform that they can come and contact us without, because it is very daunting to jump on the main thread. I think people
I think
are scared.
that makes perfect sense.
But generally, yeah, it's other things we will put in the main thread. But okay, so that's set on the call front. Does anybody else have anything that they desperately need assistance with? I know, Charlotte, how are you doing on the volunteer side? Do you need any work or?
I'm still working on these instructions, and
Okay, how's it going?
I reached out to Laura.
Gal.
I'm sorry.
Which Laura?
Laura Gal.
Oh,
I'm sorry. What did you say?
There are multiple Lauras. I just was.
Laura.
Which Laura?
Laura Camera.
Laura Camara, who's on the Housing
Sorry.
Access Justice Committee.
Just to see like how procedurally I'm not familiar, so I was gonna try to talk to her and just to see like what the next steps are really. So that's where I am. She has not responded yet, but I just messaged her this morning.
I think you just muted there, but I think you finished the thought, right?
Yeah, if you have any suggestions otherwise how to move forward with the instructions, just let me know. Or if you have any other tasks for a law student, just shoot them over to me.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I think what we're doing is we're actually making a list of all the forms, and a volunteer called Alex Faig is he's putting them in a document that David put together, where he's just got 5 variables like the name, description, the link to the original form, and then there's another thing. And so if you are looking for a task, Charlotte, that's something that I think maybe he might need assistance on. I don't know how far he's gotten. I'll check in with him. But so it'll also be nice to see all the forms that we're working on in one place. Instead of the Trello board, it'll just be like,
And this is basically acting as a rough CMS. So we scrape these from the sheet and then populate the static pages.
Yeah. Okay, so I think what's the time now? So everyone's okay with what they're doing? No one has any comments?
So
I think maybe we should make an announcement.
Oh, okay. Well,
Michelle,
quick,
you
let
can
me
make
get
the
this, and then
You can make the announcement, Michelle.
You make the
All right.
announcement.
Kate's got a new background, guys.
All right.
That's the announcement.
The announcement is Maeve, Matt, and I are combining our forces together to try to be the project managers to bring these with our forces combined hand in. I don't know.
Troika. You're the Troika.
We're the Troika. There we go. That was the word he used. To kind of combine forces between the different teams on this project, and we're going to try and shore up each other's lacks in certain areas. I sure hope you two are ready for my lacks. So,
right back at you, Michelle.
I think that we just realized when we were trying to onboard a tech volunteer that I was speaking for myself. I was greatly, I wasn't able to do it. So it's very helpful to have Michelle in this role.
And Maeve, quite foolishly, I must say, put her faith in me. And
there was all right. We'll have this discussion later. But you shortchange yourselves. But I hear the frustration and the challenge there.
So we're glad to have Michelle
there are
here
things that you can't address. I totally hear that.
Yeah.
So this is the vibe. So
So
everyone knows.
So you can also go to Michelle if you have problems now as well.
Yeah.
Yes, certain problems are better for me than others. If you want scheduling things, do not come to me. I don't know when anything's going on. I made it here today, which was pretty impressive.
And just as a general warning, I've told a lot of people on this, but I might, if I'm not responsive over the next few days, it's because I've had to disappear for something for my day job. So don't wait up and be like, Matt, I'll get back to me. Just get to somebody else. Yeah, and I wish I could be more specific about when that was going to happen, but I can't be, unfortunately.
All right.
Yeah, I think Michelle
had something she was going to say, though.
Oh yeah, it's not as exciting though. I was just gonna talk about William, who might be joining the coding team soon. I had a conversation with him, and I think he's more kind of, he understands the scope of what we're doing more, and kind of the reasoning behind what it is we're doing. I think he's gotten, he you know, tried some stuff on it on his own, and saw kind of like where we fit into this process. So
he's a law student in Australia. He's at, I think it's called Flinders University in Adelaide. So it's a little bit of a challenge with the time difference, but I think we'll work around it. It'll be fine. Matt and I had a call with him earlier. That's the call that we realized.
yeah,
we need Michelle here.
yeah.
Has he taken Mark Ferreretto's class? Because I'm pretty sure that's where he's teaching.
Yeah,
He's teaching
I think that's where he did say that he had a teacher who found these things, and he did mention Mark. So
okay. So we should
we might
definitely
do
get
that.
him up to speed then. It seems like that'll be helpful because he's experienced with it. At least he's heard of it before and he's used it in his class, maybe.
Yeah, he said basically when Matt showed him the MA eviction thing that you've done. May, thank you. Then he said that's exactly what they do in the class. So hopefully he'll be an asset on the dev side. So yeah, other than that, I think, you know, everyone's up to speed. As you know, there's nothing else that we need to talk about.
Can I ask a specific question? I was doing some quality checks on a form, and this is very specific, so if it doesn't matter, just let me know. But there's like for the court docket number where it specifically says for court use only, do you remove that field entirely, or do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's just like a little inconsistent with the form, so I just wanted to make sure.
Anything that's just for the court to fill in, we can delete from the form.
I think we've tried to make documentation for this, and I don't think it's been consistently like absorbed. And if we can think of some way to post this, there's a lot of information people have to take in, and they are taking in a lot of this information, which is great. If there's some way that bit can be fit in at a just-in-time moment, JIT, then that would be great. I don't think it should be like the top thing on our, like in red letters or anything, because there's so much to learn. But, or if someone sees someone asking a question about this, you know, this is
the thing about that too is that originally that wasn't true. Originally, when people first started working, we weren't sure what we were doing about it, and so I think Charlotte's been there from the beginning. So you know, it's like you remember something, but you don't remember which way, what the decision was.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
So it may be easier for people who are coming on new because they won't have the memory that it was there.
Yeah. And just so you know, it is not the death knell of a form. If that happens, just the coder will, you just have to let them know, like it has to be part of the process. So the coder sees, you know, it has to be caught along the way, and the coder can make that adjustment so that it's not filled in.
Yeah. But as I keep saying, you know, every step of the way, we're just trying to make less work for the next person. So if we can try and get everyone on one page. And then the one thing that Hadley mentioned to me was labeling the documents. So none of you guys are going to really be, maybe Charlotte, but when you are working on a document, Hadley was saying that it's very difficult if people don't say in brackets at the end, quality checked or labeled. They don't know, you know. So I'm going to try and figure out how to emphasize that to the volunteers that are involved in labeling and quality checking.
But from the coding side, if they could make a nice short file name once it's through the QC process,
yeah,
that's great. It's
maybe I'll make some
like when it's going into the wizard.
Yeah.
Give it a clean name when it's going into the wizard. That's all. Like you can. I think you can just type the name in there. Maybe you don't even have to change the name of the file.
You
just
absolutely
the name
can.
that you type in there, just make that the short version. I don't know where to add that in the documentation either. That could be right on the page. That could be like, is there a shorter version of this name? We could put that text there maybe.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's it for today. I think no one else has anything.
One last thing. Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say, so I was on a conference call with the Chief Justice of the trial courts yesterday, and she was very, very thankful for all the work you were doing. So she explicitly asked me to thank you guys. So thank you on behalf of the trial courts. That being said, she also really wants that 209A.
Okay,
So we can do Justice Carey.
we're getting there.
She has a background in this area, so
Yeah.
it's very personal. to her.
Molly, do you have a question, or are you just stretching your fingers? You're muted.
Natalie here.
No, Omri is motioning from behind my laptop to see how long it will take for me to be in here, and I gave him a
The
number,
5
a
minutes,
range of
got it.
minutes, you know.
We're good. All right.
Good.
Did you want to say something, Matt?
Yeah. One thing that we're coming up to in needing is a way to file bug reports. And Quentin, I think, is pretty confident that he's able to put something into the interviews that will let people share their session as like a unique link. And so then we just need to get a system. We literally just need like a Google Doc or a Google spreadsheet. Because
Can that be at the bottom of every page? Can you put that as an under?
Yep, that's what I did. So it's part of the basic questions now, so it'll be on every page. And we can figure out when we're ready to take that off of the live site, but I think even for the first week or two, we might want that on the live site.
Yeah.
One more thing, which is only really for the developers, but if we add IDs to all the questions, I already have some code that will let you show the ID of that screen on the page. That might help with bug reports too.
Okay.
right, I'll make sure to go through and do that.
And I think there should be an outside of the wizard, outside of the form way to report bugs. I mean, if people can do it on GitHub, that would be ideal, but not everybody has GitHub accounts. Not everybody, knows how to use GitHub. I think that might be a project manager's collect.
We do have a general email that we set up for the purpose of contact. We could
Okay.
embed a mail to on the bottom of each page that pre-populates with the ID.
Sure.
So that link for contact us would basically say, contact us, and then it could pre-populate with, for anyone who's using mail to at least, with the ID number.
Yeah,
I guess-
I use mail too, but this is also for like, oh, I've come onto the channel. I noticed a bug. I'm going to tell people about it.
I'm just saying we have an email that is public facing that we can access.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, perfect.
there could be, in terms of procedure for bug reporting, one thing that I've done with teams that not everybody is like very tech oriented is they just do a screenshot when they include it was a very simple workflow on the sheet. There's like 3 steps in like writing a bug report, and it's like 1, take a screenshot, 2, where on the page is it? I mean, this was for an application, so it's like, is it the landing page? Is it the about page? Is it like whatever, like location of bug, and then what's supposed to happen, what didn't happen, and that kind of was just a really good way, because like for a developer there might be more specific terminology that they wouldn't be able to know, and then if it's like a vague description and you don't know what they're talking about, it just becomes like a much harder. So just having like a simple process like that where they just take a screenshot and then answer 3 questions could be a way to like do a simple thing. The only thing is like, where would they submit it? And that could be anywhere. That could be on a
We could
Trello
also
board.
have a DocAssemble form that's like, submit a bug report.
Who was I joking with about this?
It was me.
Yeah.
I use Google Forms for those things a lot. It's okay. It's
That's true.
okay.
Oh, Google Forms
I think
would be
that would work
excellent.
very well.
Google
Yeah.
Forms.
Molly,
It's fast and it's accessible to someone to do that who's not already involved in the dev stuff too.
and Molly, as somebody who's much more experienced in this than I am, at least, do you think the one thing I worry about with that is it's not going to preserve the state of their session? So, like, for example, and do you think that's important?
I think if people like forget, right, or like are just coming, like there's like people see it when it's happening, they press the button, they do the whole thing, like that's the best thing. But if people come at it later, or if people need a different process, I think this is like an alternative process as opposed to, I think if people come at it later and don't have a screenshot, the main thing is what behavior, what were you doing? What did you expect to happen? And what actually happened? Like those are always the 3 questions for bug reports. So if we can make a form like that, that would be amazing.
Yeah, and we don't have a complicated site like in terms of like the interface, because sometimes an interface is like if you're trying to do a bug report, ask like a civilian to do a bug report on Facebook. There's a bunch of different places on Facebook where they might arguably be, right? Which is why it's like, where's the location? What page are you in kind of question. In this, it isn't so much, it doesn't seem like the interface is so big that that would be an issue. This is just more just an all-inclusive way of having a bug report for a person who's in technical. I assume that a project manager would have to translate that into maybe a technical, like, hey, so this part of the code handles this, so there's a bug with this, right?
Well,
And that would be more, yeah.
Depends if they're
right.
programming project manager, but yes.
Right. A programming, somebody on the dev side might have to interpret that into something more specific for coders, but I was just trying to think of a general format that anybody could use that was just jumping in. As long as they answer those questions and take a screenshot, we've got a lot more information.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's
Thanks.
probably right. That's probably right.
That sounds good.
I think that's a good conversation to end on. Maybe I just saw that Hadley came on the call. Is there anything you wanted to say, Hadley, or did you just join in to hear stuff?
No, I just lost track of time, so I just joined in. Sorry, I was.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah.
That's nice to
So
hear.
I'll not
Okay,
see
so
you, but here.
And also, just to let people know, Noelle does Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. That's why we see her some days and then not others. It just
I
occurred
just
to me.
forget.
I knew that, but I just realized no one else did.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Good.
okay, so that's all for today.
Perfect.
Okay, I'll see you guys on Slack.
See you later, Maeve.
Congratulations, Michelle.
Thanks.
Congratulations, Michelle.
I'm sure.
As I told Maeve, we're doubling your salary of 0.
It's always appreciated.
Bye.
Cheers.